Hi, my name is Jeanette, and I want to thank you for joining me on the channel Jane Reads. So today we are going to talk about my goals for 2023. I can't believe we're like there. Almost. Like, wow. This year just flew by. So much happened, but it also flew by. And we are now entering a new year. So in the new year, I will have a recap of my goals from 2022 and how I did. But I can't do that yet because 2022 hasn't ended yet. So in that video that's coming, I will be talking about like all my goals that I had, kind of an overview of my books that I read, and kind of all the stat breakdown because I love numbers and stats and yeah. But right now we are preparing for 2023. So I've got my reading journal and I've got it started setting up. I have started setting it up. Wow. So my very first page is my 2023 reading goals. So I have set 10 goals for the year, but I've also realized that there was a goal that I'm working on, that I've been working on for a couple of years, that I didn't write down. I didn't write it in last year's either. I guess it's just in my head and I'm working on it. So that goal, basically a continuation goal, is I have a lot of books on my shelf that are not on Goodreads. So I want to get them read and recorded on Goodreads and get my thoughts about those books written down, and then decide, am I going to keep them on my shelves or is it time to pass them on? So that one of my goals later on that I'm going to talk about kind of builds off that. But I have a lot, so I didn't want to put, for my goal this year is to read all these books and get them on, because I want to read other stuff. I got a whole bunch of TBR books I want to read. I've got new releases I want to read. Just, yeah. Okay, so goal number 1 is to read 98 books. So far this year, as of filming this, I have read 102. I'm hoping to get to 107. I think I will be at, maybe, if I can finish everything that I want to finish this month. But I don't expect to have as much time to read next year. So we've put it down to 98. That is an average of approximately 8 books per month, with, 9 in a month or something. So I have created this tracker and with 98 books, and then I've just put like total read so that if I go over 98, I can write down the number. And my plan is to color in each book based on what star rating I gave that book. So that is what I'm going to try. We'll see. Goal number 2 is to read the 24 books on my TBR bingo board. So once again, I had a TBR bingo board this year, so I carried it over and put different books on it. So I've created a TBR bingo board with a free spot in the middle. So there's 25 spots on this board, but 24 books because of that free spot. Okay, so I will be sharing in a video coming, probably maybe tomorrow or the next day, very, very quickly, like in a few days, of what the 24 books are that are on this bingo board and how I chose those, which books are going on this board. Okay, so then goal number 3 is the sort of the same thing, to read 24 books on my rereads bingo board. So that is these books that I want to read and figure out, do I still want to own them and get them put on Goodreads? So I have created another bingo board for this. Again, there will be another video coming telling what these 24 books are that I'm prioritizing for the year. So that is 48 books I have basically prioritized for 2022 out of my 98. So that's still, it gives me 40 books still to choose from. And I mean, creating both these lists, I think the regular, like the new reads TBR, which means I've never read them before, I think there was 100 books on this one, And on the rereads list, I think there was like 82, or the numbers were the opposite way, something. So, I mean, I'm not lacking selections at all. Okay? So then what goal number are we on? Number 4. My 4th goal is to read every single day. And so I've just created a tracker. I will color in. Yeah. I will color in when I've read, like on that day. So basically, my plan is to dedicate time to reading every single day. And this was a goal that I did this year, and I've done it for a couple years, but this year I actually created a tracker to track it, rather than just a goal in my head, so I can see what days I didn't. Now, so far this year, as I said, it's not quite the end of the year yet, but so far this year, I have done that every single day but one. I've only missed one day, and that's when I was really sick. So, I at least half an hour is kind of my minimum of half an hour per day. And if I haven't read all day, that half an hour is before I go to bed, to make sure it's in. That just, yeah. But I loved reading just before going to sleep, so yeah. Number 5 is to participate in Chantel's Read Your Bookshelf Challenge. So she created a printable for this, but it didn't fit in the journal the way I wanted it to fit. So I did create my own, kind of based on the layout of last year's printable that she provided. Okay, so I have that printout. So then I can check off and write what book I've put in it. Okay, I think I will film like a little flip through at the end so that you can kind of see these pages up close and maybe better than this, right? So I'll add that at the end of the video. Okay, so that is my challenge number 5. I did participate this year, and I did read 12 books that fit, so that was a success. Then, after I decided, I was going to do this one, Oshina came out with a Christian romance reading challenge for 2023. And same thing, every single month there's a different prompt to read a book that fits that prompt. However, it has to be Christian fiction and has to have romance. That is the only requirements for Oshina's. So goal number 6 is to participate in that challenge. Again, she came up with a printable, but I don't know. I redid it based on, like, for my own book. Just, yeah. It's very similar to the other one I did, just it's red and pink because it's romance. So I've got each challenge, or each month with the challenge, and then I'll write down what book I've read for that one. And I may be able to overlap some of the books between the 2 reading challenges. We'll see. Okay, number 7 is to read 12 arcs. So an arc is an advanced reader copy. So I would like to read 12 in the coming year, and I'd like it to be 1 per month. I don't want to because I want to read what I own and what's on my bookshelves. I don't want to read only new releases or upcoming releases, but I also would like to read and help promote books that are coming out that I'm excited about. So I thought, okay, let's do 12, 1 per month. So I will pick 1 book that's coming out each month and read that one in that month. So, for example, my plan for January is to read The Sound of Light by Sarah Sundin that comes out in February. And then February, hopefully I can read a book that's releasing in March and kind of work that way. So again, I've created another printable, exactly the same setup. Do I like this layout? So with the month and then what book I'm reading, and then I'll check it off that, yes, I've completed it. So then, so there's 12 there. However, I do know that I may get more than 12. I may request more than 12. We'll see. So I have created an advanced reader tracker where I can put the book that I got, the date it's coming out, where I got it from, and if I've read it and if I've reviewed it, so that I can just track them so I have it all in the same place. Okay, so that does not go off with the goal itself. The goal is to read 12 advanced reader copies, 1 per month. Okay, then goal number 8 is to play 1 round of Katie's Read Around the World-a-thon. And this means I will play it once a month. So I will continue to do my TBR wheel game that I do, but I'm going to play 1 round of Katie's board game. So I've got the printout that she provided. I will link all these girls' channels in the description bar below so that you can see, kind of refer back to their announcement videos of it. So I printed off the game board with the instructions, and then I will play 1 round, and so that will be the first book that will go on my TBR for that month. And then I will go to my wheel and choose the rest of the books for my TBR. So that is the plan. So I would like to do that once a month for the next 12 months. Okay, so then challenge number 9. I have to go back because for some reason I didn't put this in order. Okay, so challenge number 9 is I want to do an A to Z challenge. However, there are some letters that I don't have any books on my shelf that will fit. I'm not aware of any books that actually fit that prompt or that letter, so I'm like, oh, that could be really challenging. Because again, I don't want to be buying a ton of books. So I have said, let's complete the A to Z challenge with 75%, which means I need to read at least 18 letters that will fit into here. If I can get more, that would be great. But my minimum is to read 18 books that will fit into a different letter. So 18 letters, which is 75%. So that is goal number 9. Goal number 10 is to stick to my book spending budget as per my reading reward system. Okay, so if you haven't been following along before, I've talked about this year, and I'm going to continue it with a little bit of tweaks. So my reading reward system that I've created is I will earn 1 cent per page for every page read. So for example, if a book is 300 pages, I have earned $3 to go towards my book budget. Okay, then I needed my bingo board. Okay, then I will earn $2 per line completed in my bingo boards. So if I read all 5 of these books, that will be $2 earned, right? And then $2, right? Okay, so like in 2022, I did $5 per line completed. However, I only had 1 bingo board last year. So because I have 2 bingo boards this year, I decided to reduce it down, and instead of going half, I just went to 2 instead of 250 just for ease. And again, because I want to read what's on my shelves and not be buying a ton of books, because 100 unread books is a lot. Personally, I mean, have as many as you want, but for me personally, it's a lot because I want to limit space. This is the only space I have for my books, and this is the only space I want for my books. Otherwise, it's way too many for me personally. So those are the 2 ways that I earn money to buy books. Is the cent per page and then $2 per line completed on the bingo board. Okay, so then my spending limit is I can only spend funds that are earned through my Reading Rewards Challenge. Other than, I mean, there's exceptions. If I get birthday money, I can use that, right? If birthday, Christmas money, I guess are the only exceptions. I can use that kind of money. I can only spend money on books that I've earned through reading. So I do have that written down to keep me accountable. So those are my 10 reading goals for 2023. And now I will insert kind of the flip through so that you can see the front part of my journal. And thank you for joining me today, and I'd love to know what your goals are going into the new year. Let's chat in the comments below. Have a good day. Bye.